Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Molly Magarik, the Secretary of the Department of Health and Social Services, and I am excited and nervous and hopefully not going to mess it up, but I'm here today with Executive Chef Tim Hunter of the Food Bank, one of the 2022 most influential Delawareans. So really excited to be here. This is part of the DHSS Healthier You campaign. And so we thought, what better way to highlight ways that we can be healthier and take advantage of regular things that are in our pantry, and really excited to be cooking today things that are in the Food Bank of Delaware's food boxes. So Chef Tim, I'm in basically your care, so hopefully we won't.
Thank you. We'll try to get through this. So today we took a couple of items from that were in our food boxes, and we're going to find different ways to come up with different recipes. So the first thing we did, we have canned chicken that's in our box. So we took some canned chicken and we drained it out, and we're going to make a blackened chicken taco with that. All right. And then the second thing we're going to walk through is we took the white beans that's in our box here. And I soaked the white beans overnight. It's a good way to kind of soften them up. And then I cooked them for like 20, 25 minutes in boiling water. And what we're going to do with this, we're going to make a white bean stew. So it's almost like that refried beans, but we're going to use white beans instead of that. And then we had some fresh corn. I try to feature our garden. So I took some fresh corn, a corn on the cob, and we put a little olive oil and a little basil, and we're actually going to grill this off on the grill. So our key today, Molly, is to make sure we can get all this together and come up at the same time.
Got it.
All right. So, one of the things about cooking is all about timing, and timing, everything needs to be hot on the plate. That's some of the things that we teach here. So we're going to try to get through this together today. All right.
Sounds good. And is this typical of the type of things that people receive in their food box? I know you've all done a lot of work at the food bank to make sure that you have healthy options and a variety of options for people.
Yeah, this is typically our box. We always have a type of canned protein, always a pasta. Most of the time I've seen is always a cereal in there. So I didn't even talk about that yet, but we're going to do a dessert for you guys, what we can do with our box. And we're also going to do like a cold pasta salad. We know it's hot outside now, so everybody can do spaghetti and sauce, and that's usually in your box. But we're going to try to do a cold pasta salad and use one of the proteins that were in the box today. And then we're going to try to make a spicy vinaigrette dressing. So we're going to talk about what's a vinaigrette and what's the ratio between oil and vinegar, and we're going to talk about that today. So we'll have a little learning as we go along. We'll talk about some things and things that we talk about we should do or shouldn't do.
I love it.
All right. So are you ready to get started? So we're going to get started. So we always talk about timing again. So what's going to take the longest out of all these things, and none of them really going to take that long. But the white bean stew, we're going to get that started first. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our pot, and we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to that, and then I'm going to put that back on the stove, because one of the things we always talk about is never put cold food in a cold pan. All right, you want your pan to be hot. So what happens is, because if you don't heat your pan first,
I do that all the time.
that item will start to kind of simmer, so it's more like a boil. All right, so we want that when that item hits that pan, we want it to be all right, so when you hear that sound, you know your pan is hot enough. So we're going to put that on and get that going. Now, Molly, for you, I'm going to get this corn here, and we're just going to place that right on the side of this grill.
Okay.
All right, and you can just set that right there and let it sit. How about that?
Am I putting directly on?
Directly on.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I got the sizzle.
You got the sizzle, right? Yes. Okay, so that's hot enough. So we're going to just let that go, and then I'm going to give you a pair of tongs. And then when it's ready to turn, so the one thing about cooking on a grill, people talk about when they cook on a grill, they put food on there and they want to turn it right away.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I do.
It will tell you when it's time to turn it.
Really?
Right. So it will have marks on there, and when it's time to turn, it'll be nice. So kind of let that sit, and we go there.
So patience.
Patience. So our pan is nice and hot. So we're going to add a little garlic to there. You said you love garlic.
I love anytime there's a recipe. If it's 1 clove, I add 4. If there's at least quadruple.
So there we go. So we added our garlic. We're going to add our beans to this.
Nice.
And what I did, we talk about we never throw things away in the kitchen. So we take all of our carrot scraps, our onion scraps, and we make our own stocks. So this is a vegetable stock that we made. We actually made it yesterday. So we're going to add this vegetable stock to these white beans because we want these white beans to kind of cook down.
Got it. And are you an eyeball? Well, you're a professional. So
I got a 2 ounce ladle. I do like maybe like 3 ounces, so maybe like 6 ounces of stock you want to use. All right, and you don't have to be vegetable stock. It could be like a chicken stock or a beef stock, whatever you prefer. So we're gonna let those beans sit. Always keep my salt here. So we'll add a little salt to that and let them cook down. How's our corn doing, Molly?
I may have turned it too prematurely.
All right. So while our corn is going,
Not patient. That was not patient.
we're going to heat our other pan with a little oil, and we're going to get our chicken for our blackened chicken. So like I said, I used this canned chicken here, and we made our own blackened seasoning. All right. So what we did, we took some chili powder, some cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, chipotle, and a little crushed red pepper.
And that's a really nice tip too, because I know you can get those packets.
Yes.
But then they have a lot of preservatives, and like that cost adds up versus being able to get the spices.
Yeah, if you can get the spices and make it, you always can be better off making it yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So we did that. That's what we made it with. We're going to add our chicken to this pan. And then we're going to add a little blackened seasoning. Now, the blackened seasoning is up to you, how spicy you want it. I like a little heat.
Yep.
So
especially since there's chipotle in there.
yes, there's some chipotle in there. So we'll just heat this up. Remember, that chicken's already cooked, so you don't need to heat it a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point.
So
Dealing with.
just going to kind of, heating it up and putting it in there.
It smells amazing already.
All right, and our beans are cooking. So we got those going. All right, so our corn is doing well. Next, we have some corn tortillas. So we're gonna get these grilled off because we're almost close. Our chicken's nice and hot. Our beans are still going. The one thing I wanted to do is we're gonna chop up a little basil, and the fresh basil we grow here at the farm. And we're gonna chop that and put that in our white bean stew.
I'm sorry not to interrupt you, but like, again, you're a professional. Not gonna lie, I always get nervous. Like I see all the experts chopping stuff up. Can you share some safe knife handling skills, or
absolutely,
can be intimidating for people?
So in this knife, it's a pretty big knife for some people, so it couldn't be intimidating. But the one thing you got to do is you got to be comfortable with that knife in your hand, and you don't want to hold it here because you don't want to get that, you'll get a bigger bruise on your thumb. And you don't want to you shouldn't put that finger on top of here. This should be a nice comfortable so you could be able to be comfortable with this knife in your hand. The next thing I see people do is they cut like this.
Yes.
Well, you see your fingers are exposed, but you got to learn to keep your thumb in the back, what they call the claw position, and your fingernails tucked underneath. So if you couldn't like see well, you could go by feel because that knife is touching your knuckles.
Oh my gosh!
And you don't have to worry about cutting yourself, right? So you see a lot of people do that, and that's one mistake they make, and it makes cutting a lot easier and safer with that.
That's great because a lot of when you are making these recipes for yourself, a lot of it is going to chop a lot of things, and again, it can be intimidating for people if they, are starting out.
Absolutely. So I mean, that's. The knife safety is very important with that. So, okay, so we're gonna put these on we're gonna heat these.
I finally got some char.
They got some char, there you go. Okay, so
I walked away from it.
We're gonna put these here. That's our corn tortillas, and we're just gonna heat those up a little bit.
Okay.
So sometimes if you're dealing with corn tortillas, they're easy, they'll break up. But if you can heat them a little bit, that'll help them from not breaking up.
Got it.
So we're gonna do that, all right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna use that for our white bean stew. We're gonna use this for our tacos. So one of the things, I got toppings for the tacos. So, we always put cheese on here, but we have radishes that we pickled.
Oh, man.
So we have pickled radishes. We have Napa cabbage that we grow here at the farm. So that's some of the things that we here, and we have our own fresh cilantro to go on top. So that'll be our topping.
Yeah, and summer's the best time of the year because there's just so much fresh produce that's available, like farm stands, and you all have a lot of that here.
Yes, we sell all of this that I'm featuring today. We sell at the farm stand.
Okay.
But you're right, like summertime, there's always farmers. You can go on the side, selling stuff. And so there's easy stuff that you can find now. All your fresh herbs you can find now. Anything, tomatoes, and we'll talk about that a little later, that you can actually find at the farm.
Yeah.
So all these things we're using today, so you can use these things along with your box.
What's your favorite herb?
Probably
This time of year,
basil
most
and mint.
versatile in terms of-
Yeah, we have this lemon mint out on the farm, and I really love that.
I got my friend last year had a giant chocolate mint plant. And sometimes I'm not always good about drinking water, which is also a healthier you. Be hydrated. I'm not so great at that. But she gave me a ton of her chocolate mint and put it in the water with some frozen mango. It was so good. I was like, okay,
Absolutely.
now I like drinking water.
All right, let's turn our shells over there. Can you turn that for me?
Absolutely.
They should be nice, yes. Just give them a little heat on there. That's all we really want. And then we're ready. Once they come in for a couple of seconds, we're ready to plate. This is you can see our chicken meat here. That's our blackened chicken meat that we heated up. Added our blackened seasoning too. Like I said, it's up to you how much blackened seasoning you want to add, but the heat, if you can take the heat, you can do that. All right?
Occasionally, it depends.
All right, so we're ready for that. Our white bean stews is ready. So now, Molly, how's our timing? I think our timing's we're doing pretty good, huh?
Through no help from me.
All right,
but
let's
you got
put our shells right in
Okay.
there. If you give me maybe 2 of those, and we can put on that plate.
Yeah,
There we
desperately
go.
try not to drop anything on the floor.
All right, that's all right. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our shells and we're gonna add our chicken meat into here.
It looks so
Right.
amazing. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. I'm sorry everyone can't smell through the video, but it smells awesome.
And then we're gonna take our topping. We're gonna take a little, I like to put my cheese on first because the cheese can hit the heat from the chicken. So that way it'll melt in there. So I try to put my cheese on first, and we'll take some of our Napa cabbage and put on. And we got this right from the farm. And we'll take a couple of our pickled radishes.
How long do you leave them in the pickling?
We put them on for like 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 days, they're really, really good. And then we'll take some cilantro and put right on top. Okay, so now that's done. Now let's bring our white beans over.
Oh my corn.
Have a spoon. And we're gonna put our white beans. That'll be our little side dish for us. So you have your refried beans, we'll have white beans. And now, Molly, to keep that corn that we've been sitting on, we're gonna put our corn right on this plate here,
Oh my goodness, look at that.
right? All right, so here's our blackened chicken tacos, our white bean stew, and our grilled corn.
I mean, the corn just really sets
Right.
off the whole plate.
That's it, see?
Completes it.
So we got that done, and we came up,
gosh.
everything came up at the same time, so it's nice and hot, right?
Oh my gosh,
All right,
it
so
looks amazing.
That is a good thing. How about that? Now we're gonna do a cold pasta salad. We know it's a little warm out these days, so we don't wanna do, maybe spaghetti's a little heavy and a little too hot for us. So one of the things we talked about is in the box we hit spaghetti noodles. So what do you do with spaghetti noodles? So what we did, we're gonna make a pasta salad with that, cold pasta salad. So we're gonna take our spaghetti and we cook it off the same way you do with regular spaghetti. One thing you wanna do with this is you wanna make sure you cool it off right away, all right? So one of the hacks for kitchen is you can take the whole pot with the water in it and take it to your sink and run cold water over top. So it does 2 things. If you could put your hand at the bottom, the cold water will go to the bottom and all your hot water will come over the top. All right, so, and it'll also clear the starch. So when that water is completely clear, when you can see that pasta, that's when you know your pasta's ready.
Gosh,
Then
I
you
always
can
dump
drain
it
it.
into like the colander.
Most people
and
do
then
dump
rinse
it in the
under.
colander, yes. But that's one of the hacks for a kitchen. So
it.
that's one of the ways we can do it. So we did that with our pasta. We always cook our pasta what they call al dente. So it means, to the tooth, which that's not mushy, but it still has some, bite to it when you cook it, all right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna add some cucumbers that we diced up from the farm. So we're gonna add a little bit of that. Also some tomatoes, which we have tons of dicing from the
There's
farm right
nothing
now.
like a summer tomato.
All right, so, and then we're gonna take a little bit of our canned pork that we get in our boxes, right? This pork is already cooked, so it's a canned pork that we get. So just to add some protein to our cold pasta salad, we're gonna add this pork. And you can add as much as you want, or you can add as little as you want, all right? So to that. Now, what kind of dressing are we gonna put on our pasta salad? Again, it's hot outside. We don't want anything that's really heavy. So we're gonna make a spicy mustard vinaigrette dressing.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
So Molly, I'm gonna get you to do that, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna talk you through this. So you're gonna need this whisk. Put my thumb in there. You're gonna need this whisk.
Oh my God.
All right.
The power.
And the key to a whisk is using your wrists, right? Most people use their whole
That's
arm.
exactly what I do. I do
but
like
if you
this.
can use your wrists,
Got it. Okay.
all right, that'll help you out. All right. So what we're gonna do is key to a vinaigrette. What is a vinaigrette? All right. We know it's oil and vinegar, but what's the parts? All right. So what it is 3 parts oil, 1 part vinegar. All right. So
I've been doing it wrong.
we did a half a cup of vinegar, so that means we get a cup and a half of oil.
And there are so many different types of vinegar. What's your rule of thumb in picking? Is it whatever's available? Or
Well, it depends on what it is. We used apple cider vinegar
because
for
of the
this
pork.
one. Because of the pork, we could have used a red wine vinegar. You can use, a white wine vinegar, but I liked the apple cider vinegar for this one.
So it's really just taste. There's no
It is
wrong-
about
it's-
taste.
Yeah, it's what
It
you
is a-
have in your house, what you have available. There's no wrong way to make
No
it.
wrong way.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
So again, we're gonna take a little bit of we're gonna add our oil, and then we're gonna add our vinegar.
Is there
and
any
then you're
magic
gonna-
to just dump it all in? Or?
Well, we add those, and then we'll whisk that in first. So we'll whisk that in. We know we like garlic, so we'll add a little bit of garlic to that, right?
All the garlic, always.
And we'll get that all whisked in. Then we're gonna add a little bit of our spicy mustard. So this is just a spicy brown mustard that we have. So we're gonna whisk that in. There we go. If you're gonna whisk that in there for me, Mom.
This whisk is no joke.
Right? That is a pretty big whisk. Like I said, the key to a whisk is just using your wrists, right? So we want to get that all whisked in there. Doing good. All right. Now, to key to a vinaigrette, sometimes the vinegar can be really sour. What do you want to do? And we don't want to add sugar to it. So what I like to do, I take a little honey. Oh. All right. So I'll take a little honey.
That makes a nice
and,
color too.
And we'll add to that. All right. See how that's nice and coming together?
Yep.
All right. It'll change the color a little bit.
Oh, it actually makes it nice.
All right. We'll add a little bit of salt, just a little bit, and you can whisk that in.
So
now,
how, a little bit like
just a pinch. Yeah, I use
half
a teaspoon in here, so that way you can see it. All right. We use kosher salt because it's a little thicker than regular iodine salt, a little healthier too. Now, if you using pepper, I like to use white pepper. Because if you use black pepper, it looks like little ants in there, right? And there's specks in there. But you have to remember, if you're going to use white pepper is 3 times stronger than black pepper, right? So if you're using white pepper, if you're going to use it, it is very strong. So you can only a tad is all you may need. So we're just going to put a tad in there, right? Just a little bit. And that's all we're going to need.
that looks like not even a quarter teaspoon, like an eighth of a teaspoon or something.
All right, so that's nice and whisked up, right? So one thing we always tell our students here is you got to taste your food.
Okay.
Right, so we have to taste that vinaigrette.
Oh, this is
So we'll take some spoons and we'll taste it. And
oh man, that's good.
that's okay.
Well done.
Now that's good. Now look at Molly's job. She did a great job whisking. Right now, we may not need all of this, so we can always save it if we need to, but we're just going to take it and we're going to pour it in. See how much we really need. Take our tongs and we're going to toss this together. Molly, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Here we go. All right. So now we're going to take this pasta and we get it all nice in here and we're going to plate it up and we'll use our plate right here. And we'll make sure we get all our proteins and our vegetables in there. Right? And we have a nice cold pasta salad for these hot days, right?
I know.
So we have some
Great.
hot days coming up, and nobody wants to eat some bunch of hot food. All right, so there we go, right? So we can take that, and we can use that for our cold pasta salad.
That looks great.
All right.
And once again, it smells amazing.
So last is our dessert. We talked about what we can do with our box with dessert. So, also this box had fruit cocktail in it. I'm sure most of the boxes will have some type of canned fruit. So what we did, we're gonna make a little parfait with that. So we're gonna let Molly take care of this one because this is a pretty easy one. So we're gonna let you dump our cocktail right in a bowl.
Okay.
And what we did, we went and got some vanilla yogurt, right? So we got some vanilla yogurt. So we're gonna make like a little parfait. So we're gonna take this yogurt and we're gonna just dump that. If you can let you dump that in there for us. There we go. All right. So we're just gonna put this together. All right. And then you're gonna take these, you're gonna put them right in those cups.
Okay.
So we took the cereal that was in our box, so we had some cereal in there. So what I did, I'm gonna crunch this up. All right, so we can, after she puts that parfaits in there, we're gonna crunch this up and we're gonna make like a crumb topping. So
That's such a good idea.
kind of a crumb topping, kind of be creative with that. Sometimes we get lucky in doing that. All right, so Molly's gonna finish with that. Gonna crumble this topping. All right, that's good. And then we're gonna crumble this topping. We're gonna put this right on top. And you can also put it on the bottom, or you can put it on the bottom and then put it on top. So that way when you get a spoon in there, you get your crumb from the bottom and from the top. But that's just another way that you can use your fruit that's in your box. And we were just lucky enough to have fruit cocktail in our box this time.
I like it. And the cool thing too, you could use it as a breakfast, like you said, a dessert, a nice healthy snack.
Nice healthy snack.
When kids get home from camp.
Nice
or
and cool.
School.
So it's not really hard to do. A couple of items and you're done. So
yeah, I try to get my kids to cook with me, but I'm always paranoid about. So like this is actually a really fun one that you can start to involve, the family in making healthy meals.
Yes, that's good.
Nice.
Well, Nolly, it's been great cooking with you today. You did a great job.
I appreciate it.
No problem. All right.
Oh my gosh, and thank you so much. Obviously, the food bank is an absolutely amazing partner, and so many of the clients and the people that are served by DHSS are also served by the food bank. So it was wonderful. We know you all do incredible work here, and thank you for letting me grab a little bit of your time. But
no problem.
Appreciate the partnership, and again, thank you all so much for everything you do in our community.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Let me eat it.
You
Thank you. Oh, I know I get to taste my food. All right. This one's extra special because I made it myself. Trying to talk from a mouthful. The crunchy topping is so good. It really does make it.
Get that cereal.
All right, healthy desserts, healthy meals. Very excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.